Hello friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here, and in this video let's talk about the newly launched smartphone from Xiaomi in the K series, the Redmi K30 5G and the Redmi K30 4G. So Xiaomi has announced two variants of the Redmi K30. The most exciting one is probably the 5G variant, which also has a really good hardware, and for countries which right now do not support a 4G, or for a slightly cheaper variant, there is also the Redmi K30 4G variant. So let's talk about all these devices, and we'll talk about the specifications, what are the highlights, and the pricing, and when it is coming to India, and the expected pricing as well. So let's get started. First, let's talk about the Redmi K30 5G variant. So in terms of the design, Xiaomi has employed a completely different design. You can see that the back panel has glass finishing, but there is a curved finishing towards the camera area. There is a circular ring kind of finishing, which feels really nice. And this device does not have any in-display fingerprint scanner. We'll talk about that in a while. And the power button is integrated with the fingerprint scanner, so that's something which we have seen on the Honor 20 series as well. Now this device has a full HD plus resolution display. It's a 6.67 inches full HD plus resolution display, and the important thing about the display is that there is no pop-up selfie camera, and it has dual punch hole cameras. So when Redmi K20 series was announced, Redmi K20 and the K20 Pro had the pop-up selfie camera. The biggest problem about the pop-up selfie camera is that it's a mechanical part, and apart from that, the face unlock used to be pretty slow on the Redmi K30 and the K20 and the K20 Pro. Now with the punch hole cameras, Xiaomi has solved that problem, and we expect the face unlock to be much faster on the Redmi K30 with the 5G and the 4G variant. So it has a dual selfie camera with a punch hole camera, 20, and the depth sensor. That's the camera on the display. Now that's the display aspect. Now it has a 6.67 inches full HD plus resolution display, but one of the downsides of the display is that it's now an IPS LCD panel compared to the AMOLED panel on the Redmi K20 Pro and the K20. So K20 Pro and the K20 had AMOLED panels, which is really good in terms of the quality. Now we have a IPS LCD panel, so that's definitely a downgrade on the Redmi K30 5G and the 4G variant. Now there is Gorilla Glass protection, and on the back and as well as the front panel, which is pretty good protection offered on the display. Now moving on to the fingerprint scanner. So this device does not have a AMOLED panel, and hence there is no in-display fingerprint scanner because AMOLED panels only support in-display fingerprint scanner as of now. So the fingerprint scanner is now moved to the power button. It's not actually moved to the back panel, it's moved to the power button. So it's quite similar to how we have seen on a 20 series. So that also had the fingerprint scanner on the power button. So here also we get the fingerprint scanner on the power button. Next, let's talk about the processor. So this device comes with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 765G processor. This is the first smartphone to sport this newly launched 765 processor. It's a really powerful processor. It's built on 7nm manufacturing process, and it has the 2.3 GHz Cryo 475 cores, and this also has the Adreno 620 GPU, and this is one of the really powerful chipsets. It sits just below the flagship 800 series, so you can get really great performance out of this. And if you have seen already the leaked Antutu score, which is crossed 3 lakhs for the Redmi K30, which denotes that it's a really powerful processor, the Snapdragon 765G, and again it's very much suited for gaming, and this should be able to give you great gaming abilities as well. Now talking about the software, so this device comes with Android 10 out of the box, and you get the MIUI 11. So MIUI 11 is the latest version we have seen and we have covered on our channel. So MIUI 11 will be on the Redmi K30 out of the box, and you also get Android 10 out of the box. So those are the two features of the software. Now moving on to the camera. So this is another highlight of the Redmi K30 series. So the K30 comes with the Sony's IMX686 sensor. So again, this is the first smartphone with the Sony's IMX686 sensor. So we have seen the IMX586 sensor on last year flagship devices. Again, the Redmi Note 7 Pro was one of the first smartphones from Xiaomi to use that sensor, which is one of the flagship processors. It's a 48 megapixel sensor. Now with the Sony 686 sensor, which is a 64 megapixel sensor, which is able to produce some really good results as well. So we expect the cameras on the Redmi K30 to be really good. It also has an ultra wide angle camera, a depth sensor and a macro lens is included. So that's the configuration. It's a quad camera on the Redmi K30 5G variant. So you can expect some really good camera abilities on the Redmi K30. And on the selfie front, it has a 20 megapixel primary camera and also a depth sensor. So you can get some really good portraits on the selfie front as well. So that's the camera aspect of the Redmi K30. Now moving on to the battery life. So this has a 4500 mAh capacity battery, and it also supports 30 watt fast charging. Now if you look at the Redmi K30, the K20 Pro, it had a support for 27 watt fast charging. Now it is improved to 30 watt fast charging, so you can get some really blazing fast charging on the Redmi K30, and it also has 4500 mAh capacity battery, so there is definitely an increase in capacity as well. So that's the battery aspect of the Redmi K30. Now talking about the pricing. So the Redmi K30 has two variants. One of them is a 5G variant. Now the 4G variant has some differences. So we'll just list the differences. The primary difference is that it comes with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 730G processor. So it is not the 765, it's a 730G. So it's again pricing should be much lesser. And apart from that, the third camera is a 5 megapixel camera on the Redmi K30 5G, while it's a 2 megapixel camera on the Redmi K30 4G variant. Now apart from that, you obviously know one is 5G supporting, one is 4G supporting. Also on the Redmi K30 4G variant, you get the 27 watt fast charging, while on the Redmi K30 5G variant, you get the 30 watt charging. Now talking about the pricing. So the Redmi K30 5G comes in 4 variants. One is a 664 variant, 6128, 8128 and 8256. So the pricing starts at 1,999 yuan, that's almost like 20,500 rupees, and that's an extremely good pricing announced in China. So we expect Xiaomi to launch, if at all they're launching the K30 on similar lines. Now there is another variant at 2299, that's around 2,300 yuan, so it's again 23,500 rupees. That's a 6128 variant. And then also you have 2599 variant, which is 8128, and 2899, which is 8256 variant. So there are 4 variants available, and you can see that there are different colors also available. There is magenta variant, the blue variant, then purple variant, so lots of variety of colors also to choose from. Now the Redmi K30 4G variant is priced 1599, that's almost like 16,500 rupees, which is extremely good pricing. Again, we expect the 4G variant to come to India as well, so we are expecting Redmi K30 in India pretty soon. So again, no major difference apart from the processor and some minor differences in charging. It again has a really good camera setup, the Sony 686 sensor, and almost the same aspects, including the punch hole camera, the dual selfie camera, all those things remains the same except the processor. So that was the detailed specifications and features of the Redmi K30 5G and the Redmi K30 4G. So when is it expected in India? So we expect Xiaomi to launch one of the devices at least in December. That's what we are expecting. Xiaomi has already teased 108 megapixel camera. We are not really sure about how Xiaomi is going to bring that 108 megapixel camera. So we also expect the K30 series to come to India, because K20 was one of the really good selling smartphones along with the K20 Pro in India. So we expect Xiaomi to launch the Redmi K30 in India as well. So pricing, as I said before, it's extremely competitive. The K30 4G variant starts around 16,500 rupees in India pricing, although India pricing is not yet announced, and the Redmi K30 5G starts at 20,500 rupees according to the India pricing. So that was the brief about the Redmi K30 5G and the Redmi K30 4G. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do hit that like button and also hit the subscribe button for more videos. This is Numal signing off. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.